So I guess one last question, and this is just general thought here. I mean, we've touched on how a lot of this is implementation rather than any new invention, but I mean, where do we go from here to drive further efficiency? Just what does the future look like? What else can we do? I mean, we start with implementation of what we already have, and then where do we go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll reemphasize that using what we have already. I mean, I hear quite often more training required of people in data centers, training of people that are operating data centers to understand what can be done and how to do it. Um, I mean, the right sizing of not only on the cooling side, but on the power side as well too. Seen stats a number of years ago where 80% of all data centers never achieve 60% of their design build capacity. So that means that there's a lot of wasted, I'll call it infrastructure out there. I mean, how many companies when they're doing a new build go in and say, well, I'm 10 years from now, that's always the question that's asked, where are you going to be 10 years from now? Well, 10 years from now, I'm going to be running a 2 megawatt data center. And so as a result, all the infrastructure, all the cooling, everything goes in there to support that. 5 years later, they're only at 500 kilowatts or something like that, or a megawatt as such. So meanwhile, all the cooling systems are still there. They're still, in a lot of cases, they're still operating as such. So just awareness of what's going on, what can be done to improve operations in data centers. One of the things that we talk about a lot with our customers is the total life cycle. When you're looking at buying servers, when you're looking at buying equipment, look at the total life cycle cost of that. Don't let procurement drive you down the road of cheapest product. What's it cost you from an energy point of view? What's it cost you from a capital point of view for that equipment? What's it going to cost you to recycle that equipment as well too? So let's look at it from a total life cycle perspective and put that into play in there. And just as I mentioned earlier, I think eventually immersion cooling is going to be here. It's coming slowly, but it's quite a adoption process for most companies. But I think there's a lot of benefits in immersion cooling. When I look at the part of the work that we did for this calculator was to look at the various types of cooling systems that are out there, and when you do the analysis from an energy point of view of immersion cooling relative to anything else that's out there right now, I mean, it's far beyond being more efficient. It's a factor of, I'm not sure, a factor of a lot of more efficient from an energy point of view, but it's getting over that adoption barrier for people to do that. So yeah. So I think that's, from my point of view, there's we work in the legacy world. It's getting people to adopt more and more of what's available, what's out there today.